Hello Scorpio, Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting December, almost said November even though we're in the middle of December, December 19th, 2016. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember to come back to this channel at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, December 21st for a special live stream discussion about 2017's astrology. And on my website, integrativemysticism.com, registration is now available for the tarot tutorship classes and for the special astrology love webinar I'll be doing in January as well. And I'll be doing the love webinar on 2 separate Thursdays at 2 separate times, so whichever one you can make, that would be fantastic. And don't forget to check out my vlog channel, ScarletMoonMagic. I'm doing a special series all this month on spiritual awakening. And for those of you who didn't know I had a vlog channel, I do. And it's, it's all about my personal spiritual path, just all kinds of fun little vloggy journaly things and discussions, including astrology, but a ton more. So you might want to check that out. All the links are below as well. And of course, to register, to go to my, you just got to go to my website to register for the classes if you want to sign up for the classes in January. Enrollment is going on now. So, what is happening with your astrology this week, Scorpio? Well, in the beginning of the week, on the 19th, we do have Mercury retrograde. And yep, it's happening again in Capricorn in your 3rd house of communications. And it's going to stay there all the way up until the 9th of January. Now, the reason this is significant for this week is not just because it's a long angle. Remember, long angles I do in monthly astrology. But it's because this is also going to be connecting very strongly with Pluto, currently also in your 3rd house of communications. And when we have Mercury retrograde and Pluto come together, it's about rectifying, a mistake. It's about taking something off the table that doesn't belong there. And in this case, it's in your house of communications, contracts, and sometimes even your vocational training and your education. So this is definitely not a good time to make anything official as far as signing contracts or anything like that, but also, at the same time, this is a good time to start getting yourself out of binding contracts if you want to get out of something that's sort of trapped you or sealed you in, so to speak. This is also a great time for those of you that are looking to perhaps change the rules in the way that you have maybe a communications device, financed, whether it's a car or a phone, if you're looking to do upgrades and things like that. I really wouldn't recommend it during a Mercury retrograde, but I would recommend saving yourself some money because we could get some returns on that. When it comes to school, some of you may find some better options or better educational paths, and if you are enrolled, say, for school next semester, this is a week where I want you to really pay attention to find out what is a better class to take instead of one of the ones you're taking right now, because we may find out it does fit an important role and it may serve us better in the long run. Later on in the week, we do have Saturn, the planet of order and restriction, in your earned income sector, forming a strong, harmonious trine to Uranus, currently in your 6th house of reputation. This is the area that talks about your daily work, your service to others. And this is actually bringing order to chaos. And this is a beautiful angle to have, because when we have Saturn and Uranus working together, we are actually finding out later on this week a new way of making money that's not going to impact your current work schedule. It's not going to impact your availability. This could be something that actually starts up as something you do on the side, something you do on your own time, or this could even be a way that you're making extra money at the same job that gets you a paycheck. And this is an angle that, starts this conversation later on this week, closer to Friday, but it goes on until late Monday, early Tuesday. So there's a big window to explore this option that's being presented to you. So, that being said, what is going on with your cards this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Wild Hunt. Now this card talks all about frenzy. This card talks all about the runaway train kind of feeling, and it's important to pay attention to where even a light touch can have a heavy impact. So it can be a great thing for those of you that are looking to make some quick strides really, really fast. Like you really need something to take off faster. You're trying to play catch up, you're trying to get ahead of the game, that's fine. But the wild hunt can also indicate some people getting carried away. This can happen a lot at work, this can happen in your love life, where sometimes things can go a little bit too fast or get too busy too quickly. That being said, you know what, it can be an extremely productive week, but I would always use a lighter touch this week with the Frenzy card of the Wild Hunt, because people are not only going to be acting more seriously or getting carried away, but they may take things more seriously this week as well. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Magician card upright. Beautiful card for work and money because, again, this is actually a good omen for those of you looking to start a new job, looking for you to find a new job. You may actually find yourself in a position to get that call back earlier than you expected. Say you already did an interview, a callback could be coming to you. Maybe you're doing the interview on Monday and the callback could come back on Thursday. Remember, Mercury retrograde's not in your earned income sector, and Mercury retrograde doesn't hit the whole chart all at once. It just hits the spot in your chart where it is. So it's okay to accept a proposal this week, which may be coming. The Magician card also talks a lot about people kind of seeking you out, whether you're employed or you're not. People seeking you out and offering you ways to, to give you money, whether it's doing something short-term like an independent contract, or it's something that you're doing again on the side, or something extra you're doing at the office that not everyone else is going to have the opportunity to do. It is spoiling you a little bit, because again, you are being picked out of the crowd. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Nine of Cups, inverted. And this card is actually quite nice, even though it's inverted. It just comes with a little bit of a message. Again, we talk about the Frenzy card, people getting carried away, people kind of, taking things too seriously. Well, the Nine of Cups inverted talks about a friend or a relative answering a call of yours, or granting a wish or a request that you've made of them. But it's gotten a little carried away in the sense that it's been taken very literally, very specifically. And, this does, again, make me think of a lot of the lessons with the Nine of Cups inverted about understanding that you are the one responsible for articulating your intentions. The genie in the bottle is the one who grants the wish. Their job is not to figure out what you want. So you've got to make sure that you mind the hubris and the articulation of what you're asking of people this week, because again, they will go out and do it, even if you meant something else. So it can be very humorous, but it can also be very gratifying. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Ace of Cups inverted. And this week, I think it may be a little bit more difficult for you to vent some negative emotions or some concerns that do need to be shared, okay? Because the Ace of Cups inverted says, Scorpio, you may be feeling that you need to share an opinion or a feeling about a friend or a relative or a lover that you don't think should be shared, you're afraid to get it off your chest, but the Ace of Cups inverted says holding it in isn't doing anyone any services. Sometimes this card can show up as a challenge when we're afraid to express concern on behalf of another, when we should express this concern on behalf of another. I don't think you're betraying anyone's confidence or anyone's, or anyone's privacy or boundaries by expressing your own opinion about the way, someone else is doing or how somebody else is feeling or what's going on in their life, if it's common knowledge. So if you do need to bring your concerns out with that, go ahead and share them. Don't be afraid to do that. Obviously do it with compassion and grace, but I do think that with the challenge card being the Ace of Cups inverted, holding back feelings that might be negative or opinions that might be negative is not necessarily, the best thing you can do for yourself. It's not healthy, and it might actually be something somebody needs to hear. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Queen of Cups upright. And this card is very nice for a lot of you Scorpio people, because the Queen of Cups is talking about somebody finagling or trying to work out a way for you to meet somebody special. The Queen of Cups usually shows up when somebody's going to bat for us, or somebody's sticking up for us, or helping us get a point across, or helping us make a connection. In fact, for those of you who are currently coupled, you may find out that this is a friend or a relative of you or your partner's who's actually doing a better job of getting through to your partner this week, kind of working as sort of a diplomat or a translator between the two of you. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating when we find out that somebody else is able to get our point across better than us, but at the same time, this person is here to help, so don't get frustrated when they do. If you do need a message delivered to a partner or something like that, that they're just not hearing from you, the Queen of Cups is showing that it will sink in. When it comes to your children as well, the Queen of Cups upright is saying that your child may confide something in a friend or a relative that you do need to hear, and it could be good news. And for some reason, maybe the reason our child is not confiding it in us is because they're worried about, maybe getting in trouble, or worried about doing something wrong when there's really nothing wrong, and believe me, what they're talking about isn't really the end of the world, but, it could make a difference in bridging the gap and, how we relate to our kids. So that is your forecast, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com, where you can sign up for the classes that I've got going on as well. I'll talk to you later.